You arrive in this world as a trembling whisper of life, blind in the bright daylight, weighing barely 10 ounces, clinging to fur that might be the only thing between you and oblivion. You're born in the emerald canopy of the Amazon rainforest, suspended somewhere between earth and sky, in a realm where stillness is survival and movement is a gamble with death. Your mother hangs upside down from a branch, and you emerge into the world already understanding your first and most important lesson: hold on or fall. Welcome to life as a sloth, where evolution's grand experiment in energy conservation has transformed you into one of nature's most vulnerable creatures dressed in the costume of patience. Your eyes barely function. You suffer from a rare condition called rod monochromaticity, which means you were born without cone cells in your eyes. You're completely colorblind, see poorly even in dim light, and in bright daylight, when predators hunt and life pulses through the rainforest, you are functionally blind. Your world is a blur of shadows and shapes, an impressionist painting where threats remain invisible until they're upon you. But this doesn't matter much, because you're not built for seeing. You're built for holding on. From your first moments, your mother teaches you through the language of stillness. She moves perhaps once every few hours, a glacial shift from one branch to another, and you must mirror her movements or understand the consequences. There are no second chances in the canopy. Your tiny claws, your inheritance, your only tools, must grip with a strength that seems impossible for something so fragile. Your mother's fur becomes your universe. You eat when she eats, sleep when she sleeps, and slowly, agonizingly, learn what leaves are safe to consume by watching her methodical feeding. She will care for you alone. Your father, like all sloths, vanished long before you drew your first breath. For up to 12 months, you'll cling to her chest, a small passenger on an impossibly slow journey through the trees. Every week, you experience what will become a lifetime routine of terror. Your mother descends, not for adventure or exploration, but for the most dangerous act a sloth must perform: defecation. Once a week, she climbs down from the relative safety of the canopy to the forest floor, exposing both of you to every predator that prowls below. This journey, which seems absurd to any rational observer, claims over 50% of all sloth deaths. Scientific American. The ground is where jaguars wait, where harpy eagles scan for movement, where your slow-motion existence becomes a fatal vulnerability. But she descends anyway, digs a small hole, defecates, losing up to 30% of her body weight in the process, and then makes the agonizing climb back up. Why? Scientists believe it nourishes the algae gardens growing in her fur, fertilizes the moths that live in her coat, and perhaps marks territory through chemical signals. Your survival depends on a symbiotic relationship with organisms living on your body, and that relationship demands this weekly pilgrimage to almost certain danger. And you will fall. On average, a sloth falls from a tree once every week for its entire life. The Sloth Conservation Foundation. Sometimes it's clumsiness, sometimes a misjudged branch, sometimes simply exhaustion. When you're young and still learning, falls happen more frequently. You plummet through the air 10 feet, 30 feet, sometimes more than 90 feet, until you slam into the forest floor with a sickening thud. If you're lucky, your body's unique adaptations save you. Your organs are positioned differently than most mammals, held in place by fibrous adhesions that prevent them from crushing each other. You can survive a fall that would kill almost any other creature your size. But that's only if you land on soft forest floor, on leaves and soil that cushion the impact. When you fall on concrete or rock, or when you're separated from your mother, the calculus changes entirely. You cry out, a high-pitched distress call, hoping she'll hear you through the jungle's cacophony. She might come for you, but her top speed is 2 miles per hour, and the descent takes energy she can barely spare. Sometimes mothers simply don't come back. They've made an evolutionary calculation. The energy required to retrieve you might mean both of you die, so you're left behind, crying into an indifferent forest. If you survive to adulthood, and statistically, that's a significant if, your life becomes a study in minimalism. Your metabolism operates at roughly half the rate of other mammals your size, processing food so slowly that it can take up to 1 month for a single meal to pass through your digestive system. You eat leaves, which provide almost no nutritional value and even less energy. Each day you burn approximately 160 calories, less than a single candy bar would provide to a human. This forced frugality shapes everything about you. Your movements are glacial because you simply don't have the energy reserves for anything faster. Your muscles comprise about 25% of your body weight compared to 40 to 45% in most mammals, because maintaining muscle requires calories you don't possess. And so, you hang, upside down, motionless for up to 15 hours a day, while an entire ecosystem grows on your body. Algae blooms in the grooves of your fur, turning you green and providing camouflage among the leaves. Mobs lay their eggs in your coat, living out their entire life cycles in the jungle on your back. Fungi, bacteria, and countless invertebrates call your fur home, millions of organisms treating your body as portable real estate. You even eat the algae growing on yourself, a strange act of self-farming that provides rare nutrients you can't get from leaves alone. World Land Trust. You've become a mobile ecosystem, a living testament to nature's creativity when faced with extreme energy constraints.
But your camouflage isn't perfect. Harpy eagles, with eyesight 8 times sharper than humans, patrol the canopy, searching for your distinctive shape. When they attack sloths, they succeed 55% of the time, an astonishingly high success rate compared to their other prey. NIH research: jaguars, despite being primarily ground hunters, have learned to climb, to wait in the lower branches for your weekly descent. Ocelots, anacondas, and even large predatory birds see you as slow-moving protein, easy pickings wrapped in algae-covered fur. Your best defense is simply being unappealing. You're a bag of partially fermented leaves, your flesh tough and stringy, your body riddled with parasites. Some scientists theorize that predators avoid you not because they can't catch you, but because you taste terrible and offer minimal nutritional reward for the effort. Your survival strategy isn't speed or strength, it's being so unappetizing that death itself seems disinterested. But now, even your stillness can't save you. The forests are disappearing. Chainsaws and cattle ranching are consuming up to 91% of Amazon destruction, erasing the very trees that define your existence. The Sloth Conservation Foundation, habitat fragmentation, forces you to travel across open ground, something you're catastrophically poorly equipped to do. Power lines crisscross the canopy, electrocuting sloths who mistake them for vines. Roads slice through territories, and your 2-mile-per-hour pace makes you roadkill waiting to happen. Climate change alters the microhabitats you depend on, shifting temperature and humidity patterns that your slow metabolism can't adapt to quickly enough. Your species has existed for millions of years, surviving ice ages and continental shifts through the simple strategy of doing almost nothing. You perfected the art of invisibility through stillness, of survival through patience. But evolution's timescale moves in millennia, and deforestation happens in decades. Your ancient strategy, honed across epochs, refined by countless generations, becomes useless when the trees themselves vanish overnight. Sometimes evolution's patience becomes your curse. You were designed for a world that's disappearing faster than you can move, programmed for stillness in an age of chaos. And so you hang there, blind in the daylight, covered in algae, host to a microscopic civilization, suspended between a vanishing past and an impossible future, the living embodiment of evolution's most ironic tragedy, surviving for millions of years by doing nothing, only to die because you can't do anything else.